Welcome back to Gretta's Grimoire. Thank you for turning the page. Like yesterday, I will be reading the story straight through and trying not to commentate on it. And then I will offer some commentary, and then I'll get into a bit of a deeper analysis. So, without further ado, here we have Cat and Mouse in partnership. A certain cat had made the acquaintance of a mouse, and had said so much to her about the great love and friendship she felt for her, that at length the mouse agreed that they should live and keep house together. "But we must make a provision for winter, or else we shall suffer from hunger," said the cat, "and you, little mouse, cannot venture everywhere, or you will be caught in a trap some day." The good advice was followed, and a pot of fat was bought, but they did not know where to put it. At length, after much consideration, the cat said, "I know no place where it will be better stored up than in the church, for no one dares take anything away from there. We will set it beneath the altar, and not touch it until we are really in need of it." So the pot was placed in safety, but it was not long before the cat had a great yearning for it, and said to the mouse, "I want to tell you something, little mouse. My cousin has brought a little son into the world, and has asked me to be the godmother. He is white with brown spots, and I am to hold him over the font at the christening. Let me go out today, and you look after the house by yourself." "Yes, yes," answered the mouse. "By all means go, and if you get anything very good, think of me. I should like a drop of sweet red christening wine, too." All this, however, was untrue. The cat had no cousin, and had not been asked to be godmother. She went straight to the church, stole to the pot of fat, and began to lick at it, and licked the top of the fat off. Then she took a walk upon the roofs of the town, looked out for opportunities, and then stretched herself in the sun, and licked her lips whenever she thought of the pot of fat, and not until it was evening did she return home. "Well, here you are again," said the mouse. "No doubt you have had a merry day." "All went off well," answered the cat. "What name did they give the child?" "Top Off," said the cat quite coolly. "Top Off!" cried the mouse. "That is a very odd and uncommon name. Is it a usual one in your family?" "What does it matter?" said the cat. "It is no worse than Crumb Stealer, as your godchildren are called." Before long, the cat was seized by another fit of longing. She said to the mouse, "You must do me a favor, and once more manage the house for a day alone. I am again asked to be a godmother, and, as the child has a white ring around its neck, I cannot refuse." The good mouse consented, but the cat crept behind the town walls to the church, and devoured half the pot of fat. "Nothing ever seems so good as what one keeps to oneself," said she, and was quite satisfied with her day's work. When she went home, the mouse inquired, "And what was this child christened?" "Half Done," answered the cat. "Half Done? What are you saying? I never heard the name in my life. I'll wager anything it is not in the calendar of saints." The cat's mouth soon began to water for some more licking. "All good things go in threes," said she. "I am asked to stand godmother again. The child is quite black, only it has white paws, but with that exception, it has not a single white hair on its whole body. This only happens once every few years. You will let me go, won't you?" "Top Off? Half Done," answered the mouse. "They are such odd names. They make me very thoughtful." "You sit at home," said the cat, "in your dark gray fur coat and long tail, and are filled with fancies. That's because you do not go out into the daytime." During the cat's absence, the mouse cleaned the house and put it in order, but the greedy cat entirely emptied the pot of fat. "When everything is eaten up, one has some peace," said she to herself, and well filled and fat, she did not return home till night. The mouse at once asked what name had been given to the third child. "It will not please you more than the others," said the cat. "He is called All Gone." "All Gone?" cried the mouse. "That is the most suspicious name of all. I have never seen it in print. All Gone! What can it mean?" And she shook her head, curled herself up, and laid down to sleep. From this time forth, no one invited the cat to be godmother, but when the winter had come and there was no longer anything to be found outside, the mouse thought of their provision and said, "Come, cat, we will go to our pot of fat, which we have stored up for ourselves. We shall enjoy that." "Yes," answered the cat, "you will enjoy it as much as you would enjoy sticking that dainty tongue of yours out of the window." They set out on their way, but when they arrived, the pot of fat certainly was still in its place, but it was empty. "Alas," said the mouse, "now I see what has happened. Now it comes to light. You are a true friend. You have devoured all when you were standing, godmother. First top off, then half done. Then will you hold your tongue," cried the cat. "One word more, and I will eat you too." All gone was already on the poor mouse's lips. Scarcely had she spoken it before the cat sprang on her, seized her, and swallowed her down. And that is the way of the world. All right. Okay, let me just throw it out there now. This suspiciously reminds me of the Tom and Jerry episode where Tom, Jerry, and the dog, whatever his name is, they all move into a house together. They're like, "We won't fight anymore," and then by the end of the episode, they're fighting again. I'm like 78% sure that this is where Tom and Jerry came from. Maybe. It could be. We don't know. Okay. The cat seems like a very sensible, smart person, so one would assume her family would be smart too. Or, if they weren't smart, that she would be like, "No, that's dumb. That's not." So why wasn't the mouse immediately, like, just thinking about it? Thinking about how, like, that's weird, and figured it out. More on that later. Okay, and the only thing they buy is fat. They're trying to survive winter. And they buy a pot of fat that the cat can eat in 3 tries. I mean, granted, it does say that she spent the whole day, but it says she spent most of the day doing other things too when she did this. So, I really don't understand how they thought just the pot of fat was going to fill both of them, let alone just the cat. Moving on. Okay, so let's go back to the whole cat and the mouse thing, the mouse trusting the cat. I'm sure you've heard some variation of, "Because of who I am, you shouldn't have trusted me in the first place." Like the spider said, "Come into my parlor," or the fox said to the gingerbread man, "Come right on my back, and now come right on my nose, it'll be fine." Or the snake said, "You knew what I was when you picked me up." And then he bit the guy, like... So I'm sure you've heard some variation of certain things are not to be trusted, because you know from a young age. But that's not the point I want to make. I believe that people and animals can coexist peacefully. Like, they can make it work. Even though they're as different as cat and mouse, I believe they can have the opportunity, just like everyone else has the same opportunity, to get along just fine, and even in the end sometimes become better friends than mouse might have with another mouse, or a gerbil, or a vole, or a shrew, or a rat, or something more similar to her. And sometimes these people or animals even end up great couples. Now, obviously, cat and mouse were just sharing an apartment, or house rather, and they were roommates. But I think any two people, whether it's a couple, roommates, best friends, siblings, can learn this lesson. Any relationship is all about trust. So, once cat broke mouse's trust, that's when the relationship turned sour. Not because they are cat and mouse and different as, well, cat and mouse. No. Once the trust is broken is where the things started to go bad. Not because of their unlikely friendship. And now, I entirely believe that cat and mouse could have fixed their relationship. Absolutely. Just because you did something dumb, really dumb. I mean, Come on, how many times have we been like, I'm saving this thing for later, I'll save a slice for my friend, or I'll save a cookie for a friend, and then by the time it gets there, the cookie is gone. It's gone. And so you're, no, I didn't have any extra cookies. So if that happened to all of us, we'd all end up like cat and mouse, friendless, alone, hungry. However, because Cat continued to act violently and just keep it to herself and didn't change, and because Mouse didn't exactly help the situation, she kind of allowed it to continue to escalate and kind of fed that fire, and because Cat, well, ate her, you really can't go back from that. So if you do end up making a mistake, as you are inevitably bound to do so, because you watching this are probably human like me and everyone else, most other people, unless you're a cat and mouse watching this in that case, mouse, watch out. Don't be like Cat. If you do end up making a mistake, don't be like Cat. Do not double down when it comes to time to admit that you're wrong. Just admit that you're wrong. Be open to talking about the situation. And never eat your feelings. Am I right? I'm right. No, it wasn't that dumb. Gosh. I was proud of that one. Okay. And with that, this episode has reached its happily ever after. Turn the page to learn more.